What's your name, Marine?
Staff Sergeant Dominic Freda,
Where you from?
Livonia, Michigan.
Tell me, how long have you been in the Marine Corps?
Just over 9 years.
Yeah, I've got you on video on that Ssgt the other morning. Tell me, are you married?
I am married.
What's her name?
My wife is Lindsay.
Any children?
I do have one boy,
What's his name?
Dominic Jr.
Dom Jr.
He just turned one on September 16th.
No kidding.
Yes.
Tell me, is this your first trip to Iraq?
Actually, it's my third to Afghanistan, yes.
To Afghanistan, I'm sorry. Afghanistan.
Yes, third time.
Tell me about your first one.
My first one was 2004. I was up in the mountains out of Jalalabad, down in the Kunar province, in the near the Tor Bor Mountains.
Yeah?
A lot different than the terrain around here. Here's more flat. Up there was the mountainous terrain. We do a lot of humping through the mountains, and you know, didn't have to worry about IEDs as much back then as you do now.
Right, right. What was the high point of that tour?
The high point, it was my first combat tour. You know, it just showed that you know, what you're capable of. You know, when you know, times get a little bit rough, you just depend on the person to your left and your right, and it shows how much of a team the Marines really are.
Right. Your second tour in Afghanistan?
My second tour was last year with 3-6 through the push through Marjeh.
What was the high point of that?
The high point was the actual push. You know, it was built up to be a pretty intense battle. You know, the Marines made it through, and you know, what we're doing now shows what we did then made a difference.
Any particular reason why the Taliban won't come out and fight you this year?
I think it just shows that, you know, with the Marines, how working with the Afghan National Army and the locals, how locals are willing to help out the Afghan National Army, and it shows the step that they've made as far as taking this AO into their own hands.
Tell me about this year.
This year, last year I was a weapons platoon sergeant. This year I'm a line platoon sergeant, second platoon, and you get to be with your boys a lot more. As far as when you're weapons platoon, they're all attached out, but now I get to be with my boys every single day, and get to work with them and see how they grow every single day.
I was on my first patrol back with second platoon. You were the platoon sergeant.
Yes.
I want to thank you for allowing me to have a very in-depth conversation with the guys out there, the Afghanis. I won't forget that. You definitely have a sense of humor. Also, your leadership qualities. Where'd you learn them leadership qualities? Was it boot camp? Was it, you didn't get it out of some manual?
No, the way I was raised, you know, my dad raised me right. You know, I live by the golden rule, and you know, I try to.
The one with the gold makes the rules.
That's true. You know, treat others as if you want to be treated. You know, so you know, I was taught well from growing up.
Well, it's very clear you're going to be a career Marine. Is it going to be 20 or 30?
We'll start off at 20. We'll see where I'm at that point.
All right. Any one particular individual inspire you to become a Marine?
Well, I've mentioned my father already, but
Okay.
you know, growing up, you know, I always wanted to make something of myself. You know, I tried the college thing. It really didn't work out as planned, but I wanted to make something of myself, and you know, this seemed like some good opportunity, and I've learned a lot, I've grown a lot, and it's made me the person I am today.
Can you tell me what separates a Marine from the other branches of the service?
The Marines in general, we have a really tight cohesion. You know, we each look out for each other. You know, it doesn't matter how horrible and you know, how much, you know, how bad things get. You can't get upset if you look to the left and you look to the right and you see the person in the same misery as you. All you can do is look back and laugh about it later.
No, I'm just trying to imagine sleeping in a pup tent with no heater in sub-freezing temperatures, and then freezing rain, trying to sleep in a flooded fighting hole. Tell me about that experience.
Well, it's one of those things, you know, generally you try to, it's a mental thing, you know, as long as you, in your head, you know that sooner or later it's going to get better. You know, you try to find that, you know, that warm, happy place, but sometimes it gets pretty tough. But once again, if you look to the guy and to your left and your right, you know he's dependent on you, and you're dependent on him, it makes it a little bit easier to adapt to the surroundings.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for serving our country, and thank you for serving over here, and hoorah, Marine.
Rah.